back to the Bears Brawl podcast, the podcast for the Bears fans by the Bears fans. I am the heartthrob G.W. Gross. Follow me on Twitter, GEESTEELIO. He is Mike Brez. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Brez number 5. And of course, we got Raul Bennington. Follow him on Twitter at Black_42. What's going on, fellas? I'm feeling legit right now. I feel like I'm in a log cabin doing my podcast right now. House sitting, you know, for the in-laws. I'm feeling good. What about you, Mike? You're on the road. Yep.
I am on the road. I'm driving a Kia Soul. So talk about living luxury. This car is neon green Kia Soul, Mike. That's what I got going on today.
I can see you in that.
No, you can't. It's like the most oh my God, it's like I had to go to I put my trunk in, get the work done, and then you go to the place where they have one car for rent, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, give me that thing. And then here I am cutting it up, living life. Let me tell you what, my whole road rage incident stuff, I really don't have the same kind of power like in the Kia Soul than you would in my truck. So it's been a weird day, man.
So you can't bully people on the road then?
I mean, all you got to do is put effort into it. You can bully for good however you want. That's the one lesson everybody needs to learn in life.
Terrible message. How you feeling, Raul?
I'm all right. I'm chilling. I'm cooling.
Are you in the bed?
Yes, I'm actually in the bed. Chilling. Ugh. I work hard, bro. I work hard.
I gotta say.
Let me ask you guys a question before you move past that, because I got that phrase in there. This was a thing that I brought up, especially, verse when you're on the verge of South and North people. Whenever people use the term, "I'm in the bed," or they say, "I'm in bed," which one do you use?
In bed.
In bed.
Right, it's very normal, right?
Yeah.
In the bed. They call it, what are you doing? I'm in the bed. You know that if you hear that, that's like a Tennessee honey saying that. You know what I'm saying? That's like something a Tennessee honey would say to you. Oh, I'm in the bed.
She sound big the way you made that sound.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Big, small, gotta get them all.
Hey, you're right. Hey, ain't no discrimination on this podcast. I just gotta say, I like how we started doing that YouTube stuff, and this looks like another pod where we won't do it because I'm the only one on camera again. So
well, here, let me just.
What are you talking about? I'm on camera now.
Bro, we cannot see you.
Watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth.
We can see a white comforter.
Yeah, we can't see you.
Why don't you turn a lamp on, bro?
You just want to see my face, Mike. You miss me, don't you? You miss me, don't you?
Look at what are you pointing at right now? What am I seeing here? The top of the ceiling?
Yeah, this is something else that Raul does. He just points the camera at the ceiling and does a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I got a back injury, so it's hard to get out of bed sometimes.
Is it spinal?
Yep, 2 herniated discs, L4 and L5.
Man, that sounds like you're building excuses headed into combine season already.
There are no excuses out here, bro. You will get destroyed just like anybody else.
Are you putting a shirt on, or are you just seriously going to do the ceiling thing?
I'm just gonna put my nipples on camera.
No, that'd be
sexy.
You know what I miss is the days used to come in doing pods, cooking shit in the microwave, and then just like throwing your forks in the sink. That was my favorite.
I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a kitchen in this hotel, so I can't do it. But I do got a view of the New York skyline if y'all want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. It looks like a piece of drywall.
Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all real quick.
Yeah, are we ever gonna do a podcast where all 3 of us are at our homes?
No.
I'm trying.
Who does that? That's trash.
Oh, God. There. Look at your pink shirt.
Yeah, look at your pink shirt.
Salmon?
Looking like Bun B. Looking like Bun B.
Let's see. You gotta talk. You gotta talk and show it at the same time, Raul. So the screen flips.
I gotta what?
You got to talk
like
and
pink.
show it at the same time.
I think I look good. I look good in pink. You feel
Yeah, but where you at, Raul?
What is it? Secaucus, Jersey.
Ah, that's the other side. That's
I'm out here with the rich folks. What's up?
You're looking at them.
Yeah. What's
across
up?
across the bay there. Come on.
What's up?
Yeah,
What's
whatever.
up? All right,
You
let's go.
You gotta get your periscope out or telescope and look at G. Yeah, way up there in Westchester.
You know,
Where's
but he's
Westchester?
not. I don't know where he's at.
It's pretty much, you know, you got the 5 boroughs and you got Westchester right there. So like Westchester's like after the Bronx is Mount Vernon, then it's Yonkers, White Plains, Scarsdale. That's Westchester.
Okay. So you technically like 45 from me right now.
Yeah, pretty much. So now, so if you say something slick, I can go down there and pop you in the face real quick.
I'm never worried about that.
You should be.
How y'all gonna be 45 minutes apart, not even go try to get beer?
Because it's Tuesday night, Mike.
Who cares?
Folks got work
I don't care about shit.
Yeah, man, it's Tuesday night. Whatever.
That's no problem, Mike.
You got one kid. Okay, one kid.
That's enough.
Go ahead.
That's enough.
Well, funny joke. Nobody's ever said that one.
All right, are we gonna talk about the new quarterback coach real quick? John DeFilippo. How do you pronounce it, Mike? John DeFilippo?
DeFlippio.
DeFilippo? I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. John DeFilippo. All right, so whatever. The Jags didn't want him, so we took him. You know,
well, he was their offensive coordinator, and they cleaned house. They fired him. They fired off that. Kind of their assistants. They left their head coach, which, brilliant there. That'll play dividends.
He wasn't the offensive coordinator, bro.
At Jacksonville,
he was the OC.
Yeah.
At Jacksonville, he was the quarterback coach.
No, he was the offensive coordinator. Yeah.
Also keep in mind, this is the same cat. And that when we hired Nagy, that like 50% of Twitter said that he must be our head coach.
Yep.
So let's keep in mind he's now our quarterback's coach. So
I mean, man, a lot of cats, like I said, they just go by whatever feeling they have, and don't let it be a player or coach that destroyed the Bears, because that's the only football they watch. And if as soon as they see that coach or player, they love that coach or player.
Yeah, well, I get it. So now he's the quarterback. I just think that I'd like to see their numbers. Very hard to get the numbers on assistants, but I'd like to see their numbers. I bet all these assistants are coming in around the same range, and I think their titles don't mean much. I think they're going to get in a room and try to figure it out with these guys' minds, and who knows what will be truly doing anything. I don't think their titles are going to mean much. Flippio could end up calling the damn game plan before half it's over. You never know.
I hope not.
Yeah. No, me too. I mean, that's just not what I am. I think, but I'm like, okay, you bring in Lazor, right? And as an OC, I don't see him calling plays. So what? Who's what going to do what? And they call him the passing game coordinator now. That's weird, man.
Nah, he's the passing game coordinator is Ragone.
Are you with? God damn. Are you with me on the weird titles? Okay, too many.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense.
It's kind of like Dwight Schrute on The Office, where the assistant to the regional manager that has given out titles to make people feel good about themselves. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is.
Well, yeah, and I agree. Yeah, like bump them up. I don't know. Now, let's just play this devil's advocate game right now. Let's just say by some chance Nagy isn't going to be calling the plays in 2020. Which one of these cats? What? I know. Which one of the devil's advocate? Which one of these? Cool sound, G. Which one of these dudes is going to be calling the plays? By titles, I can't even figure it out. Would it be why call Ragone passing coordinator if he's not going to be calling plays? That's not even a real title. So what you're calling him is an offensive assistant, right? That's it.
I think Ragone would be the next in line to call plays. I think that from what I hear, Ragon is like master at designing plays. His play designs are like really, really out there. So that's why they kept him there. I think that De Castillo, my bad. He's all about the run, and I think him and Laser or Lazor or whatever.
So, the number one, it's Juan Castillo.
Whatever. I don't give a damn. De Castro. I don't give a damn. Fight me. Who cares? De Castro and Laser or Lazor are gonna be in charge of the run game. Nagy ultimately just got people who are gonna be his apprentice and are gonna answer to him. That's it.
What do you guys think of a guy that since the year 2000 in college and in pros has been around the blocks for now 20 years and hasn't stayed for a place longer than 2 years? Like, what does that say to you?
The Flippio?
Yeah.
You talking about Flip?
Yeah, like what does that say to you? I mean, because I don't know what that – all that says to me is that he interviews well and must be a nice guy.
I think people like his demeanor.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Probably knows football. I mean, he probably knows football. It doesn't – I mean, there's a lot of cats that go around that aren't successful and then they get in the right situation and they click. I mean, NFL's not easy, dude.
He knows football, but he can't call plays.
Well, they're
trash at it.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say there's probably a lot of that.
He's absolutely trash at it. So he knows ball.
It's like,
he just can't call plays.
Yeah, it's like Mitch in practice playing with his friends, or Mitch or fourth quarter Mitch when his brain is out of it versus Mitch trying to throw a 7-yard pass when it would just be great to get a third down conversion. It's it's just how your brain works. Sometimes people can write up all the plays in the world sitting in their office. They get out there and then they just choke city when it's chess, right? Especially with defensive coordinators and whatnot. It is you're calling a play to set up another play to set up another play. You're calling plays so that your 3 plays from now will come into effect, or you're calling a play now so a play in the second quarter will work. It's all up here. It's chess. And a lot of these guys get up to be a offensive coordinator, start calling plays, and they're just calling checkers. And they just get destroyed by defensive coordinators in that battle, and that's just why they fail. So you got to get somebody in there that's playing chess. I'm not sure if they got a guy or if they still think Nagy's the guy. I don't know. I guess you think that Nagy's still calling plays, right?
Are you kidding me? Nagy literally brought these cats up here to assist him and do the dirty work while he calls his plays. Yeah. There's no way Nagy's giving that up.
Well, but that's
not one way.
Thing.
Well, the one thing I will give Flip is he's the one who coached Mark Sanchez in 2009. I mean, and Sanchez was a very limited quarterback and coached him into the AFC Championship game. So that's something, at least. When you're talking about a guy who's working with a quarterback and the way we've been hard on Mitch Trubisky, I would say Mitch has more to offer than Mark Sanchez. Different situations, but I would say, at least that's –
We've been what?
What?
We've been what?
Hard.
Yeah, pause.
Nah, we've been hard on him. We've been hard on him.
Nah, chill, bro. Chill.
We've been mad hard on him. Especially out of everybody here, I think Raul's been the hardest on Trubisky, right? Right, Mike?
Yeah, chill.
Right, Mike?
Just chill.
I don't know. The whole goal of pause is to not repeat it over and over again.
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
She has been embracing the yuck lately.
Exactly.
Just
it's
really
a way of
running with it. Yeah. Embrace the yuck. New T-shirt.
Embracing who I
am.
Austin,
get on it. Pause.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Oh, by the way, Austin said your son is a hater.
My son is a hater?
Yeah.
Why's my son a hater?
I don't know what happened.
My son don't even talk.
I don't know.
Oh, you know why? Austin has this running joke where he calls me dad. That's probably why.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh.
That's what it is. That's it. He has this running joke that I'm his pops. So, he should be so lucky. He should. I mean, with no disrespect to Mr. Fogelster, no disrespect to him, but, I can see it. All right. So Khalil Mack's going to skip another Pro Bowl with an injury. This is something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We were saying Mack's decline in production.
It feels like we talked about it like 8 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to keep it more relevant, but you're right. It was about 2 months ago that we said that Khalil Mack must be injured, and it's coming up again that he was injured. This is no surprise to me, probably not a surprise to you guys, but is this something that we should be worried about that 2 years in a row now that the Mack's been dealing with injuries?
Yeah. Yeah. Not because it's Khalil Mack, but it's a simple fact of the Bears need to add more depth to that spot. I mean, we since he's been here, he's been hitting the ground running, right? And this is a theme for the defense and the offense. You need to get the defense off the field. You need to keep the offense on the field, and you need to rotate players, meaning you need to have depth. Ultimately, it all falls back on the GM.
Well, there's two. Obviously, if a guy starts getting nagging injuries, it's something to worry about. But, think about it. Julius Peppers, he started getting some nagging injuries too, but look at all the games he played through and he was so dominant in. So this guy's a professional. He'll know how to get his body in condition to be able to handle his stuff. He's still young. He's got all the, money and people and places and everything they need to be able to get him healthy and keep that. And, game one, he'll be ready to go. So that's just part of life, man. A lot of these guys get dinged up. But it took a toll. We can play a hypothetical while we're at it, though. So it did take a toll in his play through the season. Obviously, his numbers were down and his impact were down greatly. A lot of people wanted to run on the very lazy narrative that he was getting tripled all the time, which we told them over and over again that ain't happening. Mm-hmm. And then, so question is, let's say that he wasn't playing hurt and he was up to his normal dominance. Did the Bears win any more games?
Yes.
I guess because Mack is the kind of person that in a couple of drives he can make it that 3rd and long, or he could turn that 3rd down into a 4th down. So I would say we win probably one more game.
He's a master of the strip sack. He's the engineer as to why we were 12 and what were we? 11 and 5 or 12 and 4, whatever, because we had the 47 turnovers. He was instrumental to that. So therefore, I think if he's healthy or if he's playing fully like the way we know Matt can, I think we win more games. But injuries happen.
They do.
It's part of the game.
What are you going to play? What if we can go back through the schedule and become 16-0? But it just makes me want to say, okay, you get Mac back healthy, you do this, you do that. What are you looking at for 2020? So if buts and candies and nuts, but that's gone. So people need to get off the theory that Mac's just that, and that
What you just said? If what is what and is what?
Candy and nuts for candy and butts. Okay, it's a famous saying. Everybody uses it.
Gee, have you ever heard this?
Mike is so full of shit sometimes.
Have you ever heard this?
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, he's going to be replaced on the Pro Bowl roster by Green Bay's Zadarius Smith. So, if that means anything to anybody. Yeah, so whatever. So
that means we should have bought Zadarius Smith when we had the shot.
Yeah, that's why I bring him up, because I remember we were discussing that in the preseason.
But with that said, though, you couldn't pay him. We can't pay him that $15 million.
Hell no.
Oh no, but you want to pay Clowney? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
you want to play Clowney more than what you could Zadarius, but we can't.
Because Clowney is better. Clowney's better.
He is better than Smith. I mean,
dude, are you seeing what's okay? Impact wise, that's not the truth this year.
Oh, you
Zadarius
come on, bro. We're not about to do this, bro.
I'm not doing this.
Just stop, Mike.
Well, we ain't got to, but you need to get real. You just said you can't afford him. You just said you can't afford him. You said you can't afford him.
Yeah, no. It's a different ball game.
Oh no, what is it? Baseball?
It's a complete different from ball game.
I have a question that has nothing to do with the Bears, but it was playoff football. We're just talking about Khalil Mack, talking about dominant defensive people. I was watching, just going back to 2 weeks ago, when I was watching that Houston Texans game, right? what's the point of paying J.J. Watt anymore? If you're the Houston Texans, what's the point of having that much money go to J.J. Watt? I don't get it. Like, I was watching the game like, why are they paying this guy so much money? Get rid of him. Because someone else will, because they want the name. Get rid of him. I don't get it.
I've said it for the past 2 years. I said it two years ago. If I was the Texans, I would have shopped J.J. Watt for a first-round pick, and I would have probably gotten it.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, well, you run out of – then you wouldn't have a locker room leader.
Shut up. Shut up. I can't stand this guy.
You know what, Mike? Yeah, you know who they got, Mike? They got Deshaun Watson. That's who they got as their locker room leader, all right? That's who we should have.
I don't know if people are galvanized behind him.
I'm pretty sure they are, man. Pretty sure.
Of course not.
Yeah. You know what? I almost went somewhere and
Nah, we're not going there, bro.
I almost got us canceled. I almost got us canceled for trying to make a point to Mike. But
exactly.
But if you feel me, you feel me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's all good.
But let's go into the Bears. As the Bears Wire reported, Bears are doing their due diligence on tight ends at the Senior Bowl. The Bears were caught talking to Jared Pinkney of Vanderbilt, and also what's his name? Me and Raul will talk. Bryson Hopkins. Bryson Hopkins out of Purdue. I mean, these are two guys. I like Hopkins the best out of every tight end, but at least Mike. At least it's out there. The Bears are out there talking to these guys. So that's got to make you feel somewhat good.
Yeah, that means they're doing all this and they're going to pick some schlubs because this is a big smoke screen, right? So hopefully not. But I think it's very obvious they need a tight end. If you don't believe that, or the Bears don't believe that, like, I quit. Call me in 5 years and I'll get my Bears gear out of the garage. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So at least they're down there doing that. Yes. Tomorrow morning I'll be on with Dave Bolger and I'll be breaking down. I'll be pulling out info, what's going on in the Senior Bowl, who they're talking to, the inside stuff. Check it out. NFL Brawl come out in about 48 hours from now. Catch everything you need. But until then, they are, and that will also tell you that they're going to be taking a peek into free agency in the same market. That's how they do it. We talked about Brian Pace's ABCD method. He looks in free agency and he looks at the draft at the same position. So if he fails in one, he's backed up in the other. That's his way of doing things. So it's cool that he's looking at these certain names in the Senior Bowl. We'll be looking at more of them in Indy, but then you know the working of the free agents has already been done. Speaking of which is one, Eric Ebron, who's doing all the work.
Yeah. Raul?
I think, look, personally, I don't want to spend high money on a free agent tight end, especially one like Eric Ebron. But I get the philosophy. I get the idea. I don't particularly love it, but I get the idea. But I do think there are a couple of special tight ends in this draft that normally would be first rounders or considered in the first round. But the top 100 in this year's class is so damn deep that these cats are going to be second and third round guys. You feel me? So, Pinkney could be a fourth rounder. Good blocker, good receiver, doesn't have the athletic profile, but all around good. And then you got Bryson, who's a goddamn whiz as far as running routes. He's short area quickness, and then U tight end is what we need, So, and then you have Albert O, and then there's a bunch of other ones. None of them named Cole Kmet though. None. But yeah. Anyways, I think this year I would draft two of them this year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think, like Mike said, they're gonna go free agency, and then they're gonna go one in the draft.
I have a scary feeling that we're going to see Pace do a repeat and take someone like Adam Troutman from Dayton. I just have a scary feeling.
I'm not even gonna entertain that.
Why not? Why not, Mike?
He measured in great today. He measured in great, and then people are saying, "Oh, how about this D3 cat from the same damn state that Adam Shaheen came from?" Please, we're not going to redo an Adam Shaheen. I'm not even going to. No. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to go down this stupid road.
For the sake of this podcast, I kind of hope it happens. But for the sake of the Bears, I don't want it to happen at all. But for the sake of this podcast, to see Raul and Mike just flip out.
You know, I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I've literally purposely not watched any Adam Troutman, and I have known about him since like October, November. Not watched anything on him because I don't even want to get there. Because if I look on tape and I see another Shaheen and I hear Baby Grunk and this comparison, I'm going off. That's simple.
I think in the next 2-3 weeks, probably after the Super Bowls, when I'll start doing draft deep dives. But I always thought Jacob Breland was going to be a higher guy, but for some reason he's not. And I'm wondering why. Like, I thought he'd be a top 3 tight end, but they kind of have him just top 10 as a tight end. I liked Breland, but I must be missing something, but I don't know.
Yeah,
let me ask you a question. Are you guys buying the Moss hype?
No, I just think people huh? I just think people like the last name.
Okay.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. Everybody's thinking Santana. Everybody
talking about that Santana? Carlos Santana?
Yeah, that's it. That's how we get there. You think Moss, you think Santana, you think guitar, you think ding, ding, ding. That's it.
Better yet, why don't we think of Sonoris? How about that?
Oh, wow. Look at you with the throwback.
Sonoris Perry? Nah.
This guy's ridiculous, bro.
Anyway.
Finally, we know names of people. Hilarious. All trash. So,
right,
let's move into what people do know. We can talk about draft people, but not a lot of people have, done a lot of research, and that stuff will come up, especially after Indy, and we'll be all over it. But names that people do know right now, and which we'll do a double dip, I'm sure of it, is free agency, because we'll run a contingent, and then we'll go at the draft and see what ends up folding out. So right now you got some free agents. We've been talking about them, but I mean, it's just you have to talk about it because we're a program that talks about the Bears and Bears news. And Eric Ebron is like thirsty for the Bears. I mean, it's all over Twitter. I don't even have the tweets right in front of me, but he's literally like tweeting like pictures of Soldier Field and shit. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then Tariq and who's the big Hicks is on there commenting and going back and forth with them on there. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. I mean, I've never seen a guy push since pretty much like Robbie Gould.
I was gonna say we just saw it.
Yeah, but I mean, at least Robbie was a Bear. Eric Ebron, nah. And so his big tie is Mitch. Like, they liked each other in the pro.
And we lost Mike for a second. Go ahead. Go ahead, Raul. I muted him. Go ahead.
Yeah, shut up, Mike. Nah, I think that it's just he's selling himself. Right now, no team has a better opportunity at tight end than the Bears, and in that Andy Reid deep West Coast system, you're gonna eat as a move tight end. You feel me? You're gonna eat. So Ebron is selling himself. He might even sign a 2-year deal. Bang out year 1, be a Pro Bowler, and then look for a bigger contract. I think the guy is just selling himself. I don't think he's like just in love with his Bear team, but it's a good position for him at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me wishes Tyler Eifert would have been like not as injury prone as he was his whole career.
Okay.
Because honestly, like you would think at this point, 29 years old, it's almost like perfect, But coming from a bad team Cincinnati that he's been on, but Tyler Eifert with his injuries, you can't do it. I mean, when he's healthy, he's nasty, and he'd be great. But it's just that we're living in the land of whatnot still. Go ahead, Mike.
If we're in a position where we wanted to staff like 4 vet tight ends and just see what happens, I mean, or you bring him into camp. If Tyler Eifert would sign for $1 million, and you can cut him, then that would be cool. Or 1.2, and you eat $200,000 to the cap or whatever. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna do something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I've heard he needs to just drink some milk or something. Guy that has brittle bones. Ridiculous.
Drink some milk.
Absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, look, Ebron is not on top of my list. But I'm not gonna be mad if we sign Ebron. I do think if you think that your offense or your tight end situation is solved by Eric Ebron, you got another thing coming. Like my boy said, he's like a worser Martellus Bennett without the head issues. You feel me? He drops passes, uber athletic, takes plays off, but he can flash and be that dominant tight end every once in a while.
Well, all he's got to do is drop the passes that Mitch can't get to him, catch the ones that he does, and boom, takes care of itself.
Oh, and Mike, I was looking up, I don't know, I forgot what website it was. A couple of weeks ago, you were talking about Austin Hooper, and they said basically to keep Austin Hooper, which I think the Falcons are locking him in anyway with Matt Ryan. No. It's going to be about $10 million a year.
Yeah,
more. They got to be more.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the least amount. It's going to be $10 million a year. Yeah. They compared it to the guys in his age group, and like a Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, Trey Burton. They kind of like use those averages. So he'll be around there.
You're looking at the tag. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it feels like the tight end tag is around 12 mil. So
the highest paid is like 10, 11 mil. So I don't think the tag is at 12 mil.
Why don't you just look that up, G? Just all you gotta do is type those words: tight end 2020 NFL, tag, franchise tag. No, it's way for him. But Austin Hooper is the key to the key. If you can get him, you get him, and automatically good things are gonna happen. Like everything else, you're just trying. You're hoping that it might get to the Hooper level, what he would do for the team. There's no other person that you're gonna sign that is gonna give you what Hooper is going to do. Period. I mean, there's nothing. There's not some magic guy out there that's about to bust out and all this. You could have some draft dude end up coming up, but he is not going to be anywhere near what Hooper is going to be in 2020, and no person in the draft can equal what he's about to do. If you can get him. It's very important. I don't care what the money is.
It's going to be about $10 million.
Yeah.
All right.
That's franchise tag. Yeah.
I have that planned anyway, and I'm doing it in 1 second. Be my number one priority signing. I mean, let me put it like this. All right, you want an unpopular take? I would dump Hicks to sign Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper would be more important to this team than Akeem Hicks.
Austin Hooper?
Yeah, is more important to the 2020 Chicago Bears than Akeem Hicks.
Whose man's is this? Right here, underneath. Whose man's is this?
That's your man. Okay.
Get your man out of here.
We don't see the same screen you do, dummy. So
I don't care, but he sees it.
No.
Anyway,
I'm just telling you a fact, dude. I'm just telling you a fact. We need an offense, okay? That's one thing we don't have, and we need a tight end, and we need to drive this offense through a tight end. He is the perfect specimen.
Look, as much as I like Austin Hooper, I think you are overrating the guy. We are talking about a tight end. He's good. Don't get it twisted. Austin Hooper is really, really good. But Austin Hooper also has it pretty easy because you're not going to ever see double teams with him and safety over the top with him because of Julio and Ridley on the side. On top of that, you also have Matt Ryan that can get him the ball. Exactly. So I don't think the impact is going to be the same. I know what you're saying, but nah, bro. Nah.
Why are you shaking your head, Mike? Why are you shaking your head? He's right.
Because it's not. What? Excuse me? Let me tell you what. It ain't right. Look, y'all. Look. Hey, it was 2 episodes ago. Raul was telling me about how we're gonna stick with Burton because he's our Mr. Doctor 700 yards in the house. But you guys are saying that Mitch can't get a dude that is well more talented the ball to get 700 yards and or more. Y'all are crazy.
Nobody said that.
is slow thinking. You just got done talking about how Trey Burton is Mr. 700 yards 2 episodes ago, and now you're saying Austin Hooper couldn't replicate this because of all the bullshit excuses you just used.
Whoa, cursing.
Listen,
nobody
let's
ever
curse
said
it
that.
up. Let's curse it up. Listen, if he can't get 100 more yards than pathetic Trey Burton, give me a break.
Bro, nobody said that. Okay, Mike.
You just tried to. You just tried to sell that.
Mike. We didn't. Nobody said that, bro. Nobody said that.
Julio
Hey,
Jones.
G, do me a favor. Has Austin
Go
Hooper
get your
ever
Julio
cracked?
Jones jersey.
Is Austin Hooper what?
Has he ever cracked a stack in yards before?
No.
Which
has he ever cracked?
Okay, one, he's not in a tight end system. We run one, so goddamn, if you're going to look for one, this is where you would get it. So you take a guy that runs for 800 yards a season in a non-tight end system, bring him over to the Bears, 1,100 yards first year. Bada bing.
Okay. We got Austin Hooper, right? We get Austin Hooper for that tag of 11 to 12 million because you're going to have to set the tight end market.
You just got done saying it ain't no 11, 12. It's $10 million. You just got done trying to tell me it ain't no 11, 12. And now you're bringing it up to 11, 12.
This dude don't listen. He just talk. He doesn't talk. 10 million is the franchise tag. If he's setting the market, he's getting paid more than that. Period. That's what the argument was.
You just said the dude's good, not great, right? So why would he set the market?
Okay. Because it's a free agent market. In the free agent market, people tend to get paid more, right?
Well,
yeah.
What's it called in economics? Basic economics.
Okay, the franchise tag is based around the average of the top 5 salaries. So are you saying that he would be number 1?
Absolutely, he would be number 1 paid because of supply and demand in the free market that's called free agency in the NFL. Have you not heard this? There are going to be lesser players that are paid more than better players because of the time that their contract came up and the needs of other teams. It's not really that hard, Mike. Even you can get that. Austin Hooper is about to get paid, and I'm not about to. I don't think Austin Hooper necessarily is getting 10 to 12 million from me when I can put that elsewhere.
Mike. Of course, Mike is losing service now. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
He looks like he's freebasing.
I gotta mute that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mute him.
Yeah, I got it.
Shut up, Mike. Shut up.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Oh, he's catching up now. Oh, he's drinking. I think he's back. Now. Michael, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
And listen, I'm trying to get my other phone so I can prove you guys totally wrong, but I can't find it because I'm driving an automobile. Anyway.
Called it an automobile.
Who doesn't call it an automobile? Okay,
you call it a car.
You call it a car, bro.
You go to a shop.
And
you're like, listen, I need some work done on my automobile, please.
Yo, this guy's a certified dickhead.
I gotta mute him.
You go down and you're like, hey, yo. No. And then you go, and then, somebody calls you, and you're like, hey, what are y'all doing? And I'll be like, I'm automobile shopping. What is it to you?
No one's ever said automobile shopping, man.
Bro,
yo, what is wrong with you?
Automobile shopping.
I don't know.
Automobile shopping.
Yo, like if
Mike, are you a grandfather?
What do you guys say? What do you guys say? You
car.
Say I'm mobile shopping? That's just weird. Oh, car? I drive a truck. How stupid would you be?
That's still a car, bro. Yo,
it's not a car. It is not a car.
I would literally
it's
say
not a car. If I pulled up in my truck, how stupid would you look if I pulled up in my truck and you go, what a beautiful car you have? How stupid
it's still a car, Mike.
Okay, so that's why we use the term, no, it's an automobile.
It's a car, Mike.
We say, what if you don't know if you want a truck, SUV, or car that day? And you're going to go out shopping. What are you going to say?
Still a car.
I'm car shopping?
Yes.
Somebody would be like, a car? When did you start driving cars?
Yes.
No.
When did you start driving cars?
Mike.
I can't stand Mike.
Right,
if I didn't know, Mike, I would really think that he lived his whole life in West Virginia in the mountains.
And
That's the type of vibe I get.
And I would say in like the 40s as well.
Exactly.
In
That's
like,
That's a
1940s.
dope place. Number one. Hey,
That's a
shout
dope
out to
place.
West Virginia. That's a dope 40. It is. I've been there.
Yuck. I know you have.
I know. You know, I'll tell you
Yo,
what.
yo, don't ever talk to me and stick your tongue out ever again, Mike. Don't ever do that nasty.
I'm looking the sauce. I gotta get the sauce.
Pause.
Yo, got that sauce in there.
Oh, look, the phone's going off.
I didn't win.
Yeah.
For a first caller.
All I'm saying is this: for if we're gonna
You
go
just
after
said the first caller.
this guy, man.
Here we go.
Yo, he can't.
Hey, yo, check that Ernest that house, dog. Something in that Ernest filter.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll mute myself.
Mike can't have sugar past 4 p.m. There's
look
no
at
rationale with this guy. Anyways, if I'm paying Hooper 10 to 12 million, I would rather take if it's affordable, give your man's Ebron 2 years, 13 mil, 2 years, 14 mil.
Do you think he's going to sign for that? Do you think there's so much damage? Do you think that the Colts being very outright saying, nah, we don't want him again, hurts that stock so much that he would sign for 6.5?
Yes.
I mean, I believe it does. I believe I believe he's in a ha-ha Clinton Dix moment. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and I think
that.
I think this is why he's pitching himself to the Bears, because it's a tight end friendly offense. They have a clear need. He comes in day one. He's a starter.
Yep.
He's not a rookie. He's a starter. He gets line share of the touches in that offense. You feel me? So I think that's why he's aligning himself. Signed a 2-year deal. The Bears have an out. By year 2, his numbers are high as hell. He can sign another deal. He's only 26. Right? So it's a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's high upside as long as you don't have a lot of some dollars in here. Now, I'm with you. I'll go with you on this. I'll say, so am I, I'm about to bust out like off-season Bears number 2 pretty quickly. I did one like, December 1st or whatever. But so number 2, and I believe that Ebron's going to be on it. And due to a lot of what you're saying, I think, we only got so much cap. Although you think that there's, all the cap in the world, which would not be true.
It's not all the cap in the world, but go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. And then so on the Austin Hooper train, it's like, I believe Austin Hooper is the best thing. I don't want to even think about nothing else. That's where it's at. Dump the money on the back end. I don't care what you do. He can win you a Super Bowl. But if, let's say, Austin Hooper gets tagged somehow and they can be able to afford it, or Austin Hooper decides to do something crazy and sign with one of the 31 teams. Okay, so let's just say, I'm just saying he's off the market. So in my scenario, he's gone. What's my number 2 move? All right, well, then I probably go for the high upside risk of Ebron, put him with the low, like, total loser, Trey Burton, and there's a tag team there. It's very sad. You got to draft somebody. You better be going to the draft. And then you better find a diamond in the rough to go with all that. So that's it, which is sad. I don't feel good about that, but it just seems something that's realistic. And I like to do my Bears off season so they're realistic and they also fit into the cap. So, I mean, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's a match. I think he's probably already talked to his agent about it. And they're like, go ahead and do it, because I mean, it just makes sense. You feel me? It completely makes sense. This makes more sense actually than the haha deal. So
yeah,
2
I mean,
years.
and hey, there's something to be said for a dude that wants to play somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
For whatever reasons, I don't think it's genuine. Like he loves this Bear team so much, but he sees it as an opportunity. He's a businessman at the end of the day, so he's taking care of it. But I think 2 years.
But, if you're pushing that hard for one team and you're not doing it for another, isn't there some anti-business in there as well? You know,
I don't think so. I don't think so because I think he has enough of a resume that if a team really wants him, they're gonna be like, okay, who cares? Shut up.
no, I get it, but let's just float one more scenario. Do you think that there could have been some inside intel? It obviously can't be official,
Yeah.
but there's some inside connection already that stemmed up. And Eric is not known to be the most savvy and brilliant dude, so he's already like shown his hand of some inside intel that he might have a track on. It's just, it's really what his agent told him. Agents are talking to other people, yada yada yada.
Hell yeah.
So I believe that's the case. I believe that's why he's so amped up about it. He's being so ridiculous about it. I really think that's where it's at. So I think there's where there's smoke, there's fire type deal with him.
That'll be something to look forward to towards the fucking.
If we do get Ebron, I think you got to look at those tight ends that can play both your Y and play both your U. And I think there's a little bit of them in this draft, but you might have to spend a high pick on them. So that could work, and we could deploy a three tight end set at some point, which is pretty dope.
So yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, we got some options there. So but I agree. You need kind of a Max Williams cat, a Nick Boyle cat, and trust me when I say this. In free agency, if you miss, you got you got some other options out there. There's more than a few.
Absolutely. Actually, I was going to take it to the draft. Go ahead.
Would you put when it comes to free agency? I was going to ask you guys actually. Would you put Hunter Henry as just a younger Tyler Eifert or Eifert, however you pronounce it, in the terms like he's a talented guy, just gets hurt all the time? Because everybody
he's getting hurt way less. he's not even close to Eifert getting hurt style.
That's because he's younger.
Yeah, well, Eifert was hurt right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? And look, we've seen this play out too many times, right? What happens more? A guy gets injured early on in his career over and over again, and then he goes on and never gets hurt ever again? Or does the scenario play out? The guy gets hurt over and over again early in his career, and his career is shortened, and he never plays up to it ever. The second one seems to happen all the time. So if we ended up with Hunter Henry not getting overpriced and overvalued, which a team's going to do, and we got him at $7-8 million or in that range because his pricing has injuries, I'll be overjoyed, and I'll be like, all right, man.
See that guy? I don't think this Bears team is in a position right now to take that kind of gamble.
I mean, if we keep in the Billy, he's missed 4, 6, 7 games. It's not too bad. I get it. He gets those injuries, a lot of them during like training camp. You feel me? But he produces. But I think Hunter Henry's gonna get paid. I think he's gonna get paid. I think he's gonna be an $8-9 million guy easy.
Yeah, I think you grab 10. He can grab 10 with funny money.
Yeah.
So and I run by vibes on a lot of stuff. So go with your gut. And although I like everything I read on paper about Hunter Henry, except for that and you're seeing games he missed when you look at the stats lines, but you're not really looking at him playing limitedly in active games. That's the other thing. He's playing on a limited snap count a lot too.
That's true.
So, that's one stat that doesn't show up well. But in this case, I like him on paper by looking at all that, but my gut, I'm like, this is going to be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
You need an iron horse, the guy that never misses anything. We didn't love it. We still don't think it's wonderful, but especially because there's cats out there like Kendall Fuller that we could recruit in a second. But Buster Skrine, one thing about him was that he doesn't miss games. And then he played all season. He's like, he doesn't miss them. I mean, that's the way he's built. It just seems like guys that don't miss games, don't miss games. Guys that miss games, miss games. It's just what it is.
Yep.
So it would be better, what's a guy worth if he's not playing a game? What's he worth if he's not playing 3 games, 4 games, a quarter of the season? You got to price that in. And it just seems like people that are injured will continue to be injured. Look at Trey Burton and look at Adam Shaheen. It's just like, if it's not legit injuries that happen because you can watch it unfold on the field. It's like there's a black cloud following him around, you know? Just when we needed Jay Cutler to, like, keep rolling with the season, freak thumb bust, right?
Thumb
and then yeah, I mean, it's just a black cloud type deal.
Super Bowl.
You know, well, so skip him. You know, I just can't do the Hunter Henry thing right there. But.
So let me ask you a question. Quick question. Jimmy Ward, I know you and I both love him coming out. What you think about him? What you think about him in this free agency?
I like, you know, I feel like we need to get back to more of a stronger safety, but a guy that still has some range. He fits the bill. My problem with Jim, and I think he's ascending. I think he was, when he first got there, we were high on him because he's a Chicago kid, but he didn't really get it, you know, but now he's starting to get it, and he's starting to play with speed at an unconscious level, and I like it. And my knock on him, which other people's knocks are going to be, and maybe you guys, is his amount of turnovers he creates is not so great. Mm-hmm. But I think when Hivery's starting to play at this level and the speed, I think this is the turning point where turnovers start to come for you too. So, you know, I think this is a good year to bet on Jimmy if the dollars are, you can steal them, and then see if that rolls out well for you. So he's definitely in my mix on my free agent board, and he's not my top free safety pick right now. But I'm going back and forth with him and Carl Joseph, and keeping our dude we got now,
Deion Bush.
And we'd have to re-sign him, so I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, if we can sign him back on a mill, you know, that's fine. But
that's not happening.
I just think that Deion. I think that, and you know, I love Carl Joseph, and I think if the money works, you get both. The money is not going to work, but I think that Jimmy Ward can play strong better than or Jackson play strong. He comes up and he smacks. He thumps with you, but his coverage is ridiculous. And if you do draft or get another strong safety, you got a nickel or somebody that can play big nickel like amazingly. You feel me? And then next year or 2 years from now, if you want to move away from Buster, you can.
The only thing about Jimmy Ward that gets me is that, like, when you see teams make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, their price tag goes up, and it doesn't matter if they're good or not. You know, so like whatever his market value is now, you got to add another 1.5 or 2 million to it, because that's just what happens to the NFL every year.
Yep.
Well, that's something to be said about that, I guess. So, but there's names out there. I mean, and we're not even talking, you know, the cat out of Minnesota is, you know, is going to be the number one guy on the market. He's going to set the market for a strong safety. I think he'll be the highest paid strong safety.
What's his name? Williams? Williams, right?
No.
Williams.
Isn't it Williams? The safety, number 41.
Man, I'm just drawing a blank. It's black dude. That help?
Of course. Thanks, dog.
He's got dreads, small dreads. I'm doing about his shoulder.
Dog. Yeah, number 41 on the Vikings.
So his name's not D'Angelo Williams. Okay?
I said Williams. I didn't say D'Angelo. Dickhead.
I understand, but that was about the same closeness.
No.
Come on, G. I mean, you got a computer right in front of you, a roster.
Says Anthony Harris.
Whatever, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You said Williams. That ain't the same thing as Harris.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. That's how far away he was. It was like the same as saying D'Angelo Williams.
No, I like the kid. Last year. Remember, we talked about it because he was a restricted free agent last year, and I was like, I would throw a tender. You know, like, why not? You know, so yeah, I would. I definitely would. Yeah, of course. I definitely would. I would definitely explore that, but I think he gets paid. I think he could be one of the highest, top 5 highest paid safeties.
Yeah,
and Minnesota doesn't have money.
And maybe you know, you're talking about safeties in general. I think he might he might end up being the highest paid strong safety over there. It just depends. They probably won't get more money than what's his face from the Giants got last year. He plays for the Skins now.
Yeah, he probably I don't know though, man. He got 6 picks this year, and it's a kid that's ascending.
Dude, and he did it last year. I mean, I think he should get paid. He's very underrated. People just don't give him the rate for whatever reason.
Yeah, so, he'll probably get a good 12 mil, and that's totally out of our price range.
All right, I guess we can wrap it up now.
Well, what else we got? That's it. That was all the orders of business.
That's it. And then I guess next week we got
smooth segues. You know, what if you were listening to this podcast right now and they hear you go, well, guess we can wrap it up. What a smooth segue out.
It is.
What's that called? An outro? Oh, hey, okay, we're done. Ooh, man, I like that. Smooth.
Yeah, smooth. That's what you gotta do. That's the only way to cut y'all off when you drag on conversations like that.
Well, it'd be interesting. We can really talk about stuff. We really be talking about stuff.
I know you are the worst MC there is. If you got a different topic, move us on.
There is no other topic. There is no other topic. That's why I'm the only one who comes here with topics. I'm the only one who comes here with topics. So how about we talk about that?
Job,
yeah, how about we talk about that?
Me and Raul are the only ones who come here with knowledge.
Come here with what? With what? Yeah, that's what I thought. Knowledge. You don't come here with jack shit, except for your stinky ass beanie hat and your rental car, your green rental car.
It is super green, man. I mean, it's super green.
There's
neon
one
right next to me right now. I wish you could see this. Like, if you know, like that little thing, I'm in it. You know, it's crazy. Stupid cars.
Can you imagine if you would have crashed your car right then? That would have been tragic.
You should see the stuff I do in my car. You know?
I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know, my guy. I don't want to know.
You know, like, trust me, me pointing my phone out a window, hardly the most crashable offense. I was driving on New Year's Eve, and I have my iPad, and it has a little stand, so I put it on my dash, and I just watch it as I drive. You know, I watch TV. And then, anyway, so there's a lot of cops out on New Year's Eve. You never believe it. And then, so this dude, and I don't pay half attention when I'm driving anyway, so I look like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I would never.
Because you're white. Because you're white. That's why you don't pay no mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever, it works.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, I'm gonna keep doing it. So.
Because you're white.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna keep being white and see how it works out. I don't know. So anyway, this guy is like passing me. You know, like he gave up the old behind you thing. Then he passes me, and then he sees me right there, and then he slams on the brakes and gets behind me, pulls me over, roll down the window. I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, kind of sticker. He's like, "Man, you can't watch TV while you're driving." And I said, "This hands free." And then he's like, "It don't matter." And then so, you know, I had to put the TV down lower where the cop couldn't see it as I continued to drive off and keep watching TV.
That's crazy, guy. I do the same thing. I watch TV when I drive. I didn't know it was illegal.
What the hell is wrong with the both of y'all?
I do the same. I do it every morning when I drive. I always watch TV.
Why? Like, come on, bro. Come on
the road. I leave at 4:30 in the morning. There is no one on the road for a good like hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm good.
Bro.
Drunk?
Stop that.
Drunk?
Just stop. A lot of drunks. Like, just stop that. Y'all can wait to watch TV at the crib. Y'all wilding on that one.
I have no time. I have no time. I have to watch. I have to catch up.
You know what? Let me tell you how I do it. You don't want Brez unengaged in a car, especially early in the morning, late at night. You want to know why? I'll fall asleep like a motherfucker. I mean, I will fall asleep very quick. You'll have to bleep that out. So,
facts.
And I start micro napping like you've never seen, right? All of a sudden, I'm I'm not made of gingerbread and in Florida right now. And then I have to snap to it. I'm like, You know?
Yo, what kind of drugs you
I have
on?
crazy dreams. What kind of drugs am I on? I don't think you got room to talk, bud. So here's the deal.
I'm not made of gingerbread.
Hey, man, you have some crazy dreams sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I find they always have to be so crazy that I wake myself up because I'm semi-conscious. Obviously, I'm driving a motor automobile, and I'm like, I gotta be asleep right now. And then you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, and I'm still driving operating this automobile. So, if I'm watching TV, I'm alert as hell. If it's on my dash, then I'm looking out where all the shit is.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Is that
But
and
you're
then
not
think
paying
about
attention.
this. Well,
You are paying attention.
You can't focus. Shut up. You guys are.
I'm a 360-degree scanner, bro.
You're just a bad driver, Raul. Raul, you're just a bad driver.
I don't need driver's license. I'm a good driver.
I'm a good driver.
Yeah, you're a 10 and 2, man. You're like
because I'm a good driver.
This is Raul.
You drive like 44 miles an hour. I could wait. People would be more scared with you driving a car than us. Trust me. Like we know what we're doing. They would be you can tell when somebody doesn't know what they're doing.
Dude, I literally will watch TV, drive, eat chicken fingers while dipping it. Well, I'm having dipping. So I have two different dipping sauces. I have one right on the door. I have one in the cup holder, and I'm dipping them in and driving and watching TV.
Yeah. It's dickheads like you that don't need cars. Like you two are the dickheads.
Like with exactly.
We know how to drive.
But I feel you though. I mean, it just shows talent, so skill. Like I do that. I got the iPad working. I got some TV going. I got two phones. I'm like sending a tweet through one, sending a text through another one. I got my meal going. I got my monster on the side. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, that's how you do it. And you get a lot of
Raul's just jealous.
And you should probably get checked for narcolepsy, Mike.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Also, you were totally cool with me recording a freaking whole podcast while I'm on this whole drive. So
I do it all the time. I don't even look at the screen. What you mean?
Yes, you do.
I got CarPlay. The Bentley got CarPlay. What you talking about?
The Bentley. The Bentley.
The Bentley with the leaky roof Bentley.
It ain't no leaky roof. I call her Betty.
Big old water stain.
All right. Bentley. I'm ending this because this is, I'm ending it now. All right, then. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again on the Bears Brawl podcast. We'll be back next week. We might give a little Super Bowl preview because that is the biggest game of the year, even though I don't really care who wins. We'll be back. Follow us on the Bears Brawl handle at the Bears Brawl. Follow the Network Brawl on Twitter as well. Follow Mike Brez on Twitter at Mike Brez 5. Follow me on Twitter, GEESTEELIO. And of course, follow Raul Bennington on Twitter at Black_42.
Don't forget to. I'm gonna jump this. I'm gonna jump this.
What the hell?
I don't want to do it.
What is that?
That's a dilation. Mike, I hate it, bro.
Yo, Mike's hating. You want to know why, Mike? You want to know why, Raul? Yeah, you want to know why Mike did that? Because he was cool all this time with nobody looking at you. But now he's like, yo, the girl's going to look at Raul now. He's going to be like, hello. And he wants a cop block. That's how simple it was.
Oh, it's so
That's
much
how simple
easier.
it was.
It's so much easier.
No,
after our first YouTube episode, everybody told me, they were like, that's what Raul looks like. That was how they did it. So I don't want to hear about that excuse. But here's what's fact. You pause too long. You pause too long now, and it's
come on.
You set it up too much. No. And then I don't even remember the point I wanted to get to real quick before you got into that.
Because there's never a point with you.
Yeah, you just cut him off to be a dick. That's all that was like.
My favorite thing is when I go, all right, set him back up, G. Then he don't want to do it. He fouls.
Yeah. No, the moment's over now. We got to wait till next week now.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
I remember what I want to do. Also remember to go on and subscribe to the BearsBrawl.com on whatever app you're looking at, iTunes and or Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you'll have. And then a 5-star rating, that would be nice. What's best? Shout out a review. A little spicy thing that you would like to say about the Bears Brawl. We appreciate it. 5-star reviews. Click, subscribe, retweet.
It's a little spicy thing. Yo, I'm out. I'll talk to y'all next week, man. Later.
My
Hello,
my own
ladies.
brother hated on me. This is sad.
Hello, ladies.
My own brother hated on me. This is sad, man. I'm hurt, Michael. I expect better.
I'll let you open the show with hello, ladies next time.
Yeah,
we
whatever.
finish it. How about
Whatever.
that? How about them apples?
Hey,
Them
ladies,
apples, let me say.
slide in my DMs, and I'm gonna give you a special hello, ladies. All right?
Oh, God.
Got you.
Gross. Good night.